Hi everyone, it's Nick here again with Nick Satie's Hard Rock CD collection. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm actually going to look at two bands today, and these bands have nothing in common with each other. They're totally separate, but I've only got one CD of each band, so I thought I'd incorporate the two. Now the first one is Dangerous Toys, and the second one is The Scream. Now we'll kick it off with Dangerous Toys. Dangerous Toys, they've released 3 albums. Now I only have this one, which is their first album. It's self-titled, and this is another CD that I took a gamble on. I'd never heard any of their music, but I'd read quite a bit about them, and and I bought this CD quite a few months ago, and it's a really rocking CD. I was quite surprised. I didn't know what to expect really, but Dangerous Toys, they come from Texas, and they formed in 1987 or 1988, but they released this debut album in 1989, and this actually achieved gold record sales status. So it did well for a debut album, and as I said, they came from Texas, as you can really hear that Texas sort of southern feel to their music, and it's just really good. It's just really good rocking music. There's the band there. Now they released two singles. One called Teasing and Pleasing, and the other one was called Scared. Now, Scared was actually dedicated to the legendary Alice Cooper, who's been around since the 1970s, and he was a very famous, well, he still is a very famous singer. Yeah, so and it's just it's actually a good fun album to listen to. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Now, I have heard their second album is a bit full on compared to this one. It's more angry, well, apparently far more angry. So I don't really have an interest in getting that. But this is it's just a really good way to pass half an hour. You know, you don't have to think too much about the songs. They're very tongue in cheek. The songs are, and the lyrics to the songs have a bit of innuendo about them. But it's just good fun. Yeah. So there's Dangerous Toys, and they haven't really been doing too much. As I said, they've released about 3 albums, but after that they haven't done much. I think they play now and again here and there, but nothing major. So they've sort of stepped out of the spotlight, so to speak. And there's a bit of a scary-looking clown on the front of the album cover there. So my apologies to anyone who's got a phobia about clowns, but there we go. So there's Dangerous Toys, a good fun album, and a good fun band. So we move on next to a band called The Scream. Now, how I found out about The Scream was actually in regards to the lead singer, John Corabi there. Now, he actually joined Motley Crue back in 1993 through till about 95, 96. When Vince Neil, the original lead singer of Motley Crue, he got thrown out or he left. Well, we still don't know the exact story, but anyway, Vince left, and it was actually Nicky Six, the bass player from Motley Crue. He actually heard this album, and he was so impressed with it that he asked John if he'd like to come and jam with the band, and of course, any musician would take that opportunity, especially such a well-known band like Motley Crue. And yeah, they got John in, and John did an album with Motley Crue. And if you watch one of my previous videos about Motley Crue, I do talk about John Corabi and the album he did with Motley Crue. It was a great album, heavy album. But the powers to be of the record company, they didn't want John to be the lead singer, and they pretty much pushed him out of the band. The record company and the record label and the manager, Motley Crue's manager, as I said in the Motley Crue video, John Corabi, a great singer. He's got a really raspy voice, and it just suits. Well, it suits this album. His original band, but it also suits Motley Crue, and it's just such a shame how he was treated. But I've read lots of interviews with John, and he's got over it. You know, he's. I mean, this happened back in the sort of the mid to late 90s, so it was quite a while ago. But it was a long time ago, come to think of it. But John's over it, and he's accepted it. So good on to him. Hats off to him. But a fantastic singer, and that's how I found out about this album, The Scream. Now they only released one single off this album, and it was called I Believe in Me. But this is just a really rocking album. These guys came from California, Los Angeles, California. And they actually, their band was originally going to be called Saints or Sinners, but they changed it to The Scream. Now they did release another, I think maybe another another album. Yeah, sorry, another album after this. I don't have it. But that was when John had left to join Motley Crue. They got a new singer in, so I don't really have an interest in that. This was released in 1991, and yeah, it's that. I mean, look, there's nothing groundbreaking about this album, but it's just a good rocking album, and it's got a bit of a. You can hear a slight blues sound to the hard rock, just a very slight blues, but it's just mainly hard rock, and they're very good musicians. As I said, I just love John Corabi's voice, that raspy voice. It's just great, and it just suits this style of music so well. And I actually read that when Sebastian Bach, the lead singer of Skid Row, when he left, or he got thrown out, whichever story, Skid Row actually came to John Corabi, and I'll correct that. They didn't go to him. That they were interested. They were very interested in getting John Corabi to sing for them. So yeah, that would be quite interesting. John Corabi singing for Skid Row, but that never happened. So yeah, but just a really good band, a good rocking band, and yeah, that's all I can really say about them. I'm glad I got this album. I actually got this probably about 2 months ago. I got this one. I used to have it back in the day, but I had to re-buy this one. But yeah, just fantastic. And so there you go. There's two single albums of two single bands, The Scream and Dangerous Toys. And there's Dangerous Toys. So there we go. Now, I actually should tell you guys that over the weekend, I recently got 2 more CDs. I got Bon Jovi's album, This House Is Not For Sale. It's a bit of a weird looking album cover there, the house with a lot of tree trunks coming out of it. But yeah, I got this one. There's the boys there. And the other one I got is another Bon Jovi album called Bounce. So there they are. So I got these 2 albums second hand actually, so $5 each, and they play absolutely perfectly. There's no scratches or anything like that. So I add these two to my Bon Jovi collection, and I've actually worked out that I only have to get one more Bon Jovi album, and then I've got their entire catalogue, their entire album catalogue. So I still have to get the album. It's called Lost Highway. So, and I definitely know I can pick that up in a second-hand record store because I've seen it many times. So yeah, once I get Lost Highway, then I've got the absolute entire Bon Jovi album catalogue until they release a new album, which I heard they could be doing sometime this year or maybe next year. But there is an album definitely in the works with Bon Jovi. So these guys just keep going and going. But yeah, which is fantastic because yeah, I've loved Bon Jovi as I did in one of my first or second videos about Bon Jovi. Yeah, I've loved them since day one when I first heard them back in 1987. So a very long time ago. Anyway, so there's Bon Jovi, 2 new albums. Yeah, so that was Dangerous Toys and The Scream. So what we're going to look at next is a band that's a little bit different. Now, they're a rock and roll band. It's called the Black Crowes. Now they've got a bit of a slight hard rock to them. Nothing major, but a bit of a slight hard rock to them. But they're very big back in the early 90s, and they're just a great rock and roll band. You know, if you think of the Rolling Stones, the Faces, Led Zeppelin, this is the stuff, you know. Just a cool rocking band. So we'll look at the Black Crowes next. So until then, I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe and staying positive. So until then, thank you for watching, and keep on rocking, everyone, with Dangerous Toys and The Scream. Thanks, bye.